Time to play a little game. We're going to pretend for just a moment that Christmas has already happened. January has arrived, and we need a vacation. Financial expert Kelly Keene has some great advice about planning a trip on a budget. She's joining us in studio right now, especially coming after Christmas when so many people have spent so much money on a budget is a really important thing. Where do you start trying to find somewhere to go?
Well, I think what you have to do is first figure out what kind of trip do you want to take.
Okay.
And everyone has a very different definition of that. Does that mean taking the kids or leaving them at home? A vacation and traveling, I think, are two very different things. Does it mean just laying on a beach? Or does it mean going to Europe? So you really got to get on the same page with you or your spouse. If you're going with the girls, like what is it that you want to do? And then, of course, what's your budget?
Well, and some things are going to be more expensive than others.
Right.
Right? Especially if you're taking the whole family or if you're traveling and going much farther afield as opposed to just one location, right?
Right, yeah.
So you figure out your budget, figure out what you want to do. Now what?
Well, yeah, there's usually 4 scenarios Albertans will ask themselves when it's for a winter vacation. Number 1 is, should we head out to the mountains? Okay, Jasper, Banff.
Sure.
Number 2, maybe want to zip over to Seattle, Vancouver. Number 3, hey, what kind of deals are going on down maybe San Diego, LA? And then lastly, all-inclusive, I want some warm vacation.
I would tend to think that most people want to think in terms of that, about being able to get out.
I would think so. So you really have to look at, a lot of times, I don't think people really consider how much the mountains might cost. You know, for the kids, probably $200 minimum a night for your hotel. That might be, once you have drinks and food, close to $1,500. I went on Expedia, and the Pan Pacific in Vancouver for 2 people, staying. That's a pretty nice. Though. That's a pretty nice hotel. Yeah. Okay, this was 5 nights. Was $1,500. Staying at the Sheraton for 2 in San Diego, which I just got back from, fantastic, was $1,300 Canadian. So even a couple $100 less, but we didn't factor in food and drinks. So that actually was quite a bit more. And all-inclusive to the Mayan Riviera might be about $2,000, right up to about $3,400 if you want the 5-star. So you have to know yourself as a couple as well. What is it that you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Well, and you talked about going on Expedia. Is online the best way to go and search it out yourself? Like, is that what you found as you've gone around?
I have to tell you, with great trepidation, I booked through expedia.ca because I travel generally corporately. They still use travel agents. But kind of gone are the days. My sister-in-law was a travel agent 20 years ago. She would tell you where she went because she actually went there. Yes. Today, travel agents, they probably haven't gone there.
Some do. And you'll talk to some and they'll go and they'll do the trips and they'll find out about it and then be able to talk to
Absolutely. So if you can find a great travel agent for that, that's still fantastic. But there are deals to be had online. And everything was fantastic. I was waiting for like hidden fees or did you know... And we definitely got a better deal on the hotel because I called myself to see if I could negotiate a better deal, and I couldn't. It was like $69 a night through Expedia for a great suite, $250 a night if you called the hotel yourself and booked it.
Well, and let's just clarify.
That's a big difference.
You know, you're not a travel expert, you're a financial expert.
Right.
But but those financial rules that you would go by to do anything, to shop around, still apply for this kind of a thing too, right?
You bet. And then another thing you have to keep in mind, what seems to be a deal isn't always. We got a great last-minute flight with, I think it was Delta and U.S. Airways, not Canadian Airlines. Terrible. No TVs on the flights. Our baggage fees were through the roof. So when we added it up, it might have been better just to go through one of the Canadian airlines and actually pay a bit more.
But it had better service at the end of the day.
You have to read the fine print.
Is there any way to negotiate with airlines? Is that the biggest concern you have with the airlines, is knowing what sort of extra things they might tack on?
Yeah, definitely reading that fine print. And then, I mean, if you have kids and you're flying for 4 to 8 hours with no TV in the back of the plane, you better have copious toys and magazines and lots to keep them occupied.
Lots of people go, they just go in and they look for the last-minute deals, last-second deals. Yeah. Are they deals or...
I've been finding some of them. Redtag.ca is another really good one. There's lots of good ones, selloffvacations.com. Then what I do is I go on tripadvisor.ca and see what everyone else is saying, because I found a couple that I'm contemplating for January. I go to TripAdvisor, they're saying I got bed bugs, they barely had any food at the all-inclusive resort, or you have the glowing review. So I'd really like to have that feedback.
Cool. Where are you going?
Not sure yet, still, but I will be doing a last-minute deal. I'm going to see, and I'll report back in January.
Sounds cool. In the meantime, you want to check out Kelly's website, all you have to do is go to kellykeen.com. And there's a link to that on our site, ctvedmonton.ca as well. Nice to see you, Kelly. Have a great Christmas.
You too. Thanks, Carol.
With our Weather Watch camera, why would you want to leave that? Look, it's beautiful. Sun shining, a little warmer. Update on your forecast coming up.